rebellions are built on hope.
And welcome to another episode of Radio Rebellion, a Star Wars podcast. I'm your host, Alberto Calderon, and thank you for joining us on this Star Wars Saturday. Our co-host, Oti, will be with us shortly. He's on his way. I don't know, he thinks he's Gandalf. It's like a wizard. He's never late, never early. He arrives just when he means to. Hopefully he'll arrive soon. We'll have a great conversation today about this fandom we love so much, this franchise called Star Wars. So much to talk about. Finally, Skeleton Crew drop. We're going to be spending some time talking about this new Disney Plus series. It's going to be a main topic. A couple of news items we'll dive into. Nothing big, nothing major. But yeah, how you guys doing? Took the week off last week, so we're back. Feels like more. Every time I take a week off, it feels like a month or so. Although we will be taking some time off after Skeleton Crew comes to an end early next year, but we'll get to that eventually. If you're watching us, get some of this stuff out of the way. If you're watching us live today for the first time, thanks for joining us. Make sure you're subscribed to our channel so you don't miss any new episodes when they drop. And make sure you hit that thumbs up, like button, notification bell, all those fun stuff. Comment down below if you're watching this later on the replay. And subscribe to our channel. I think I already said that, but go ahead and subscribe again if you can. And if you're listening to the audio podcast when this drops later next week, thank you. And also give us a rating and review. We always love seeing those. We saw our Anchor, Spotify look back at 2024. So thank you to everyone that joined us this past year on the other podcast. Listen to our little show. We've been going on for a few years now. Our next anniversary is coming up in February, so it's going to be fun. All right, so there he is. Right as we start finishing up our intro, our co-host is here. Oti, welcome. How you doing? You're just in time.
Yeah, a wizard is never late. I've had a week.
You had a week. Come on. You want to talk about it or no? Not yet?
Yeah. You know what? I want to talk about it because my week includes an episode of my podcast that Tony and I did that I have not been able to download because it's stuck on Riverside, and we weren't able to publish it on Friday, and I was like, okay, whatever, we'll post it on Saturday. It's not downloading, so I'm gonna tell the story. So, as you know, this has nothing to do with Skeleton. I even forgot there was a new Star Wars. I saw it.
Oh, you better.
As you know, I'm getting married in 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Today, congratulations again. I can't believe it.
Thank you. I can't believe it either. So I was in Florida because one of the things that we have to do is bring my dog over to Puerto Rico because my in-laws are coming, and there's not going to be anyone in Florida from our side of the family for 1 month, so we need our dog here. And my dog is slightly above the weight that you need to bring them with you on the plane. Yeah. She's like 20 pounds over that weight, so we can't pass her as. And she's the kind of dog that if you put like a service dog harness on her, they'll be like, that's not a service dog. She's afraid of everyone. She's extremely curious. So she's very obedient, but when she's out there, she wants to explore. So yeah, that wasn't going to work either. So we had to send her via cargo. And if anyone listening has ever sent a dog via cargo, it's a pain in the, you know what? Because there's temperature restrictions, and when you're flying to Puerto Rico, weather can be anything and it can't go over 85 degrees. 85, but the plane was gonna get here at 1 p.m., which is peak heat time, and we're not having we had a cold front a couple of weeks ago, so the weather was around 60s, 70s, which is perfect and very nice for Puerto Rico, but you know, it's usually around the 80s. And as we were looking at the weather, it was always like 87. I was like, oh, and there's another caveat. The only place in Florida, apparently, you can do this from is Miami. Because
okay. I had to do it from Jacksonville. So I've been.
Oh, you did it from Jacksonville?
On the reverse that. We sent our dog or my wife's dog from Puerto Rico here to Florida.
Mm-hmm.
But he had to go to Jacksonville like at 7 in the morning. Same thing because it was gonna be 85 or 90 by the time we left. So the dog left like 3 hours before we ever did. So
Okay.
yeah.
So when we sent her, um, I completely forgot what I was gonna say. Whatever. We asked like through Fort Lauderdale, Tampa, and Miami was like the only place. And Miami's like an hour and a half away from my fiance's house, which if you live in Miami, you know it's actually like 2 hours. So whatever. We were seeing the weather. We didn't like it. Oh, and you write to the airline. You have to do it all via email, by the way. And we were like, we're not gonna drive to Miami, set everything up just to get there, and then being like, oh no, she can't fly today.
Yeah.
Only to come back tomorrow and do the same thing. And I had to get here. So through a friend of mine, we found these people that do rescues in Puerto Rico, and they were like, sure, we can help you send her. And it was like in a cargo plane, so we don't have the weather restrictions. It was crazy expensive, but whatever. So when that happened, she's like, it has to be on Wednesday. And I was like, okay, perfect. I changed my flight from Saturday to Wednesday. And that afternoon, I'm not even getting to the whole... Getting to that day was a shit show. But whatever. We got to that day. And we were having lunch. My fiance found out she actually matched in her fellowship in endocrinology. So I'm moving to Boston this summer.
We'll be there with Alan. Alan's up there in Boston.
And Tony.
There you go. And my brother. Yeah. One of my brothers up there. We should just
So we found out, we were celebrating, we were having lunch, and I suddenly get a text from the woman who was organizing, and she's like, oh, the cargo plane is not working, so she's not gonna fly out today. So I was like, holy crap, okay. And she's like, but she can fly out tomorrow. And I tried to change my flight, but they were gonna charge me $5,000 for changing my flight from one day to the other. So that was absolutely not an option. So I told my fiance, like, just take me to the Brightline. I'll take the train, so you don't have to drive to Miami twice. And that was the other thing. I was leaving through Miami. If I was gonna leave on my own, I would have left through Fort Lauderdale. But whatever. I buy the ticket for the Brightline, Alberto, and when I get to the station, I realize that I bought the wrong ticket. So, and the guy's like, the best thing I can do for you is give you a ticket half the price. And I was like, sure, fine. Though I think there was a Miami Heat's game or something. All the trains were sold out until like I was gonna get there like 5 minutes before my boarding, and that was just the way I was gonna make it. So my girlfriend's like, forget it, get in the car, we're gonna drive to Miami. What was a 1 hour and 40-minute drive turned into a 2 hour and 30-minute drive.
You missed that plane anyway.
No, I didn't miss a plane. I got there on time, thankfully. But there's this whole thing with the Miami. I hate that airport. I hate Florida airports. Like Puerto Rico and Florida have a competition for the worst airports, and Puerto Rico only it has two. I get to the airport. It says Terminal E. I go to Terminal E. They're like, no, you have to go to Terminal D to check in, to leave your bags, and then come back to Terminal E. I'm like, what the hell is this? So I do this whole thing. I get to the gates, and they're like, no, your gate is actually in a different building where there's only like 5 gates. So you need to get on the train and get there. I haven't eaten since 12. It's like 9 already. And the only thing open is Pizza Hut. Alberto, you don't know this from me. I despise Pizza Hut. But you know what? I was starving, so I had a pepperoni pizza. It was kind of good.
I mean, at that point, anything is good.
It doesn't end here, Alberto. On Friday, when my dog was coming in, there was like this whole miscommunication with the people organizing it. And at 2 a.m., they told me she'll get there around 6. The thing is, like, they like check them in, and they get in the first cargo plane that says like, hey, no, we can take them. So they don't exactly know the time they're gonna leave. I woke up at 2 a.m. and they hadn't texted me. So I was like, I don't know what time I have to pick up my dog. And I started texting them. They wouldn't answer. So my anxiety like blew up. I'm like, where the fuck is my dog? Like, who has her? Where is she right now? Like, they never told us anything else. And I didn't sleep, and around 4 a.m. she contacts me and she's like, "I'm so sorry I fell asleep." She got on this plane. She'll be arriving at 6 a.m. So I get there at 6 a.m. I got her finally like at 7:30.
Wow.
Yeah. So like between Tuesday and Friday, I slept like I'm not lying. I slept like a total of 7 hours in between those 4 days. So last night I just passed out on my couch and woke up today.
Plus
And
one
that's
slice of pepperoni pizza.
yeah. That's the story of my week, Alberto. And now when I was gonna do the podcast, I sat down like, wait, with all the chaos, I never took out my stuff from my bag. So I was like setting up everything. I'm like, just start the show. And that's it. That's
Man.
been my week. But here, my dog is sleeping in the bed. So
She doesn't care. It's like, I'm just back home. I don't know what happened.
no, but
Well, that's it for today. Thank you. We ran out of time. The only thing I'll add, when we shipped our dog from Puerto Rico here to Florida, same thing, temperature restrictions are a bitch. This was 2009. Do you remember? It was 15 years ago. A big refinery in Puerto Rico that exploded one day.
Capeco.
Yeah, dude, it was that same day. We dropped that
No.
dog at the airport. Same thing in not a passenger plane, one of those cargo planes.
That night?
That morning, like at 6 in the morning,
Oh,
we left
after the
home
explosion.
no, before. We went to get ready because our flight left a couple of hours later. The dog was flying to Jacksonville. We were flying to Orlando. Had to get our car, drive to Jacksonville to get him, to then drive down to Gainesville when we leave. But by the time we got home, before we left back for our flights, where that explosion happened, and we're like, we have no idea if the dog left or not, and we have to make our flight. So,
oh my God.
Yeah, I get it. I understand that trying to ship dogs from one country to another, it's a very stressful time.
Yeah, and not even gonna tell the story of the vet and anything. That was another pain. But
you have 10 days to get that vet certificate. If not, it's expired.
I'll just say this: no vet in the area was doing this certificate, so I had to go to this very specific vet that was full of people because it's like basically pro bono. Yeah. And like 5 minutes in, 2 dogs got in a fight and one attacked the other.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've had high blood pressure throughout the entire week.
Yeah. Oh, well. Such Star Wars.
That's everything that's happened to me since I popped on the podcast at one time.
We were so happy going to the gym that one day, and then hell broke loose.
He didn't know.
No, we didn't know. Anyway, I finished Tempest Breaker by Kevin Scott.
I haven't even read Tears of the Nameless.
No, I'm not going to ask. I'm just getting you caught up in my week. Let's hear my week. It wasn't as bad as yours. I finished Tempest Breaker. Was okay. I have some issues with it. I won't get into it. I'll say it's a great story. I'm not gonna say it's a great standalone story. My main gripe with it is the placement. How far along we are in phase 3. It felt out of place with the way they were not referencing events from Tears of the Nameless. So I'm like, all this has happened, which kind of ties up with what's going on, and there's no mention of anything. So that felt kind of weird. And there's some other stuff, but I won't get into it.
I've heard nothing but great things about it.
I know. I think I'm on the minority. As a standalone story, let me just listen to 5.5 hours of Lorna D being a menace. Then it's great. And you get a lot of Markion Rowe, which was excellent because I've been missing him. But just some little things I didn't sit well with me or whatever. And I saw The Mask of Fear, the Reign of the Empire book by Alexander Freed. And like 6 chapters in. It's pretty good. Pretty good so far.
You got a review copy or?
I got a review copy and there's no embargo date. So I can just spill everything out right now. I won't get in trouble. I won't.
Anything you want to mention from the 6 chapters?
You have Saw Gerrera, Mon Mothma, and Bail Organa are the main characters that you're following. Right now, mainly all of them have their own chapters. Now Bail and Mothma are together in one chapter.
Okay.
I love the way that the three of them, this is a few weeks after the fall of the Republic, basically, after Revenge of the Sith. I love that Bail Organa is, and sorry for anyone listening, I won't spoil it too much. It's only 6 chapters.
6 chapters.
And it's like 50-something chapters. Bail Organa went to mourn with the Jedi. He's in Jeddah right now. Well, at the beginning, first chapter, he went to Jeddah for a procession to remember the Jedi and everyone that lost their life. And he feels this weight because he was friends with the Jedi. He's raising the daughter of a Jedi. He wants to clear their name. Because even if the Jedi Council went nuts and wanted to kill Palpatine, not all the Jedi were involved. So he's trying to get the people to understand that the Jedi in general are good. So that's where he went. So Guerrera is a maniac. So he's just trying to acquire weapons and armies and whatever just to get ready for another war. And then Mon Mothma is being the whatever perfect politician out there, going to the scene of like when you see politicians at the site of an earthquake or a hurricane in their jumpsuits, trying to, oh no, the destruction here. That she's down in Coruscant.
The governor of Puerto Rico going on with the rain jacket.
Yeah, exactly. She's out there with a bunch of other senators touring the rubbles in the underground in Coruscant, trying to still play the part of the politician, knowing that all this is effed up. So I love that all three kind of took the end of it a little bit different. But now he's trying to move the pieces to see how they're going to respond to Palpatine and the rise of the Empire. But do with everything, not trying to make this, Earth politics. It's so frustrating when you read how the Emperor got to power and you're like, this crap is happening right now. It's so obvious. Just one thing that Alexander Freed did great, it's saying that this wasn't, like Palpatine didn't rise to power overnight. They've been laying the pieces of this for years, like changing legislations, putting people in place that were going to be loyal to others. And now that he's on top, now everyone's kind of has the green light to do whatever they want and whatever they think Palpatine's going to enjoy or going to be happy. That's all that they're doing, trying to, like, yeah, exactly. Like the Republican Party has been setting this up for the last 12, 15 years to win this position now. That Trump can do whatever he wants and nominate all these people, and then they're going to change everything to make everything horrible for half of the country or even more. And now you're reading this as Palpatine. It's like, oh, get angry because it makes so much sense.
Yeah. That's something I always tell people. Like, do you think like Hitler woke up one day and told Germany, like, we're going to start wearing swastikas and burning Jews? And I was like, okay. Like, no, it wasn't like that. Like, it took time.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, but and Alexander, if Tony Gilroy says, okay, I'm done doing politics in Star Wars and whatever, and Lucasfilm wants to keep doing shows or movies in that vein, get Alexander Freed to write a treatment or write a story, because politic-wise, he's nailing it so far. And what he did with the Alphabet Squadron trilogy and the Battlefront, he gets it.
Yep. Let's go, Alberto. Let's talk about kids and bikes.
All right, but I had some news items, so that's fine.
There's news? Okay.
Sorry. I didn't type anything. I got nothing prepared. I just gonna mention it real quick. James Mangold and Bo Willimon are about to finish their first draft for the Dawn of the Jedi movie. So that's something.
I saw
and it's straight from James Mangold. This is not someone saying that they heard someone else say it. Excuse me. I just ate. John Boyega at Tokyo Comic Con, taking pictures with Daniel Logan, with Jude Law. I don't know.
I don't think that means anything.
It means something to me. At least
Star Wars alumni.
I know.
Oh no, it means something to me, but I don't think it means what you think it means.
We'll see. I know anyway. It's fun to see him taking pictures with other people in the Star Wars family.
He and Oscar Isaac should do the funniest troll thing ever. They should be in public with a shirt that says Episode 10. That's it. You know what? Not even Star Wars one. Just like
Episode 10. It's a number 10 or something in yellow font.
I saw this shirt at Marshall's and I liked it. So I bought it.
All right. And then finally, Dave Filoni, in the premiere for Skeleton Crew, was asked about Ahsoka Season 2. He said he's almost done writing. He still has a few arcs or story bits to kind of finish up, but revealed that he's the sole writer for the series, same as he was for Season 1, And of course, some people took that the wrong way, but yeah, I didn't expect anything less.
Okay. I don't care, and I didn't expect anything else. So.
Yeah, I know it's whatever. All right, let me just put this comment rookie from friend Brennan out there from
Brennan.
Patient as they were not. Hello there, friends. I'm extremely pleased with the premiere of this series. I think it's great all around, but I particularly love the pirate aspect. This show is just so fun and adventurous. All right, so you guys have waited long enough, but if you guys are ready, I'm not ready. Let's talk Star Wars and Star Wars on TV.
I am not your failure, Obi-Wan.
Star Wars on TV.
All right, Skeleton Crew
Look at
time.
you.
Okay.
Look at you.
That's my 80s homage.
I
right
like
there.
it. It feels like Stranger Things. I'm not gonna
Right.
lie. It
It
kind of
feels a
feels like
little.
it's Stranger Things and X-Men had a baby.
All right, Oti. Skeleton Crew finally here. This was supposed to come out last year or early 2024. They pushed it for a whole year. I think you were one of the first that was saying, yeah, just makes sense. Keep it for Christmas or for the holiday season.
No,
Here
no.
we are.
I said I thought it was maybe like a Life Day story. It appears
Okay.
not to be.
Still early, right? But anyway, Skeleton Crew dropped the first two episodes on Monday, so it's been a while. We're a little bit late coming into this, but just first overall thoughts on those two episodes. And that's my phone. I'll just leave it there. How are your feelings? Skeleton Crew, finally, it's here. Did it live up to that 80s Amblin feel?
It did. Unapologetically, to its detriment and to its benefit. I was very happy with what I saw. I'll be super honest, and I talked about this with Tony. The whole Star Wars suburbs and school and kids and bikes kind of took me out of it for a while. However, once they got on that ship, I was like, whatever. Like, I love this. And it's odd. It's gonna be something I think we're gonna talk about for a while. If they go back to At Attin, it'll come up again. But even if it took me out of it, I highly appreciate how unapologetic it is about it, and how it's like, no, we're literally making Goonies in space, and they went for it, and I think it works.
I've watched these episodes now 3 times each. I had the time. It came out on Monday also, plus I had time to watch it. I thoroughly enjoyed this. This is, I don't want to say what I expected. I didn't even know what I expected, but it hits that vibe of these are kids going on an adventure. It's going to be silly at times. It's going to be dangerous at times. There's the intro to the series, it's not a kid's show. That intro, again, that's a new hope right there. But great intro. I shows you the kids, like you said, in Star Wars suburbs, but then they get into it. So I did love that it did feel like Amblin and all those movies, even Stranger Things that we've mentioned before. I didn't mind the feel of At Attin, just because I've seen the trailer so much, I knew what to expect. And the kids are great, and we're gonna jump into them in a couple of minutes. The dynamic between them is great. The school vibe, which is kind of weird, is great. I love the introduction of KB and Fern, just because at first they're already on their bike causing mayhem. So yeah, and the visuals are great for this series. You always what's that doubt? Is this gonna live up to what we expect Star Wars to be? And the music also hit the right notes between that 80s vibe while still feeling Star Warsy. So I'm very happy with those first 2 episodes so far. I don't know what I'm looking for.
Wait, did you ask me a question?
No.
Oh, okay.
Move my stuff around. So let's start with the kids. And again, we won't go scene by scene. We'll just talk to both episodes as we go through it. And I finally wrote down the names so we remember. We got Wim, Neel, Fern, and KB. Before we go into all 4 of them, was any one of those jump out to you as the one you can relate to a little bit more than the others, or one that you want to follow more?
I'm a Neel guy. I like the little dude. I
Yeah.
like him from the trailers, and I liked him in this show. Of course, the tub scene is an iconic Star Wars moment.
Yeah. Lives right there to the binary sunset.
Yeah, I I like all of them. I like very specific things about women Fern that we can
Mhm.
get to, and
Yeah.
ties back to the Amblin of it all. KB, I thought was gonna be my favorite, but right now I'm wanting more from her.
Yeah.
From
Mhm.
her. So that's how I feel about the kids right now. I love them. I
Yeah.
love their chemistry.
It's great. And I love it's two sets of friends, and then they get together and need to figure
They
things out.
they butt heads.
They both
But
had a little bit. Win and Fern. Go ahead.
there's a very specific line that like I was like, okay, this is gonna work. When Fern gets made the captain, and
Oh,
that said, I wanted to be the captain.
yeah. I love Fern is my favorite so far
Okay.
since her introduction, and I'm not one that really loves kid characters that are these rebellious. I don't care about adults or the rules because to me they don't seem real. They seem like, oh, this we're just acting and I'm just gonna write this kid as whatever. I think it worked for her, especially because her introduction was her just riding that dirt bike or that speeder, just going over the cliff on her way to school. Uh, Neel, which I like Neel from the trailers. I didn't fall into the Neel Nation camp. He's adorable. There's nothing bad that you can say about Neel. He's a great friend. He's a great. That relationship between him and Wim is so great. But also, he's so innocent. Every time they say something, he has to come out with the truth. But yeah, Fern to me is my favorite so far. And going to similar to what you said, interaction that I love between her and Wim is when they find the supposed Jedi temple, and when she's calling on Claimsies, which I love that scene. But first, when she comes out behind the rock, and Fern goes, "Oh, you, me," I just love it. She's just like, "Yeah, it's me, and what are you gonna do about it?" And then, oh no, this is ours. So I call claims. No, I call claims is first. Then I called unclaims. Oh, you cannot call unclaims without the claims. Or I call claims now, claims. And then Neil's like, oh, they call claims. It checks out.
It checks
All
out.
right. Yeah. But I'm same as you. I want more from KB. She's like this drawer. She's kind of like tech in the Bad Batch so far, kind of that android. But I want to
But
see more.
she's not an android. She's a kid who
She's
wears a Cyclops
got a little
visor.
thing. And she's the only one we don't know anything about her family. Like we know a little bit from each other's, from all the other kids' families. We haven't seen her with her parents or wherever she lives. So maybe that ties up to everything.
Can we talk about the parents, or do you have that for later?
I had a later for family
Okay.
situation, but
Yeah.
we can. I was mentioning Wim. I love Wim. Is this adventurer? Once I don't. I know some people are comparing him to Luke Skywalker. I'm not going that far yet. He's just a kid. He's bored at home. He's bored in his planet. He just want to go out and just explore the neighborhood, which is fine. But unfortunately, he gets thrown into space. He wants to be a Jedi. He's reading all the Jedi history or whatever. Uh, tells the teacher, "Yeah, I just want to help people when they're in danger." And Neo, "Oh, you told him you want to be a Jedi? Who does that?"
I like women, the whole Star Wars hero
Yeah.
vibe to him, like this whole there's a larger galaxy. I love that scene when they're in the ship and they're in the captain's room, and Neil's like, how are we gonna get home? And he's like, why would we get home? We just got here.
Yeah.
I found it funny, like with Luke, we have the twin sons moment of him looking for something out there, and with Wim, since it's 2021, then it's the 2024. It's just a kid in his iPad being like, adventure.
Same. My kids are just on the phone all day. But then he lives with his dad, guessing his mom dies. Like I can remember a story like mom used to. So overworked dad, or either cares more about his job than his kid, doesn't have time to read him a bedtime story. He's like, oh, I got supervisor reviews or something. I'm not gonna be around much. He's your lunch money for the week. I'll see you later. So I can understand when he wants more from life and go out and not be stuck at home studying for a job placement exam. He's kind of being dealt a bad hand at the moment with his dad not always
Yeah,
around.
yeah. With both women, Fern, I like that we saw the parent dynamic, and it
Hmm.
ties to that Amblin
Yeah.
story format where the parents either are not around, or they are but they're incompetent, or we just simply don't see them. And here it's interesting because I mean, let's see what we find out later on, if
Hmm.
there's something more to this, but like neither Fern or Wim's parents seem evil or mean
Yeah.
or anything. I just feel like there's a massive disconnect between these kids and their parents, these two specific kids,
Hmm.
where their parents want something for them, but they just don't understand why they want that for them.
Hmm.
It's like, oh, you need to get good grades so you can be top of your class, and it's like, but why? Why is that important? And why should it be important to me?
Hmm.
And in the case of the parents, they don't understand their kids. They don't understand what they want, and they're just like imposing this worldview and this, oh, you have to do good in this exam, like, but that maybe that's not what I want to do.
Hmm.
So there's just like this big disconnect between the kids and the parents, and I like that because then it sets up that whole thing where they're just gonna be absent from the
Hmm.
story.
It's very. I'm glad they're doing a little bit different from all those other movies in that you wouldn't see the parents anymore. In those other shows or type of movies, the parents show up for one scene. You see that they're incompetent. Then halfway through the movie, like, why aren't the parents out there looking for the kids? But I love because then you have the ones with Fern and his dad, which just I'm busy with work. I don't have time for you, but you got to do great at this stage so that you can get a job and be like me and be busy. I don't do anything the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
But then Fern's mom is this, I forgot the title that she has. And thinks that her daughter is the top of her class. Hey, I found this for you. You're back on top, and there's not a place for everyone on top, but you're doing great. I'm so proud of you. Meanwhile, she's racing street bikes, mind wiping the drawers so she can lie to the mom. But it's exactly like you said. They have a tunnel vision of their kid's life and what they want them to be, and then they're doing something completely different. And on the other end, then you have Neel, which seems to be with a perfect family. Has three siblings, the twins, is taking a bubble bath. His parents love him. It's like, yeah, you're having fun here. When he tells Fern, I want to go home. What about my family? They're probably missing me. I know it sucks that your dad doesn't treat you well, but
Mm-hmm.
my family's waiting for me. My dad has that St. Pauli's girl decal on the garage. I gotta go back to my brothers. Like, come on, let's go.
Yeah,
And then KB, again, we don't know anything.
we don't know anything.
All right. Do you want to talk at Attin theories or leave that for the end?
I let's get into it. I don't know. Like, I don't think we have enough information for me to make an educated guess. But I think there's clearly something up. I mean, there is something up because like no one knows about this planet,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Like, what are they doing there? Like,
I got so many theories. None of them are going to be right. And I got one.
go ahead.
But I love first, and I've said it with other Star Wars show that they're not waiting 5, 6 episodes to reveal something. It's like first episode, yeah, there's a barrier. There's red dots on the sky, so no one can leave. There's a weird clouds hanging around. So yeah, there's something going on with this planet. Everything, all apart from the parents that we saw, but everything else is done by droids. Like the droids are driving the bus, the droids are the teacher, the droids are the security. Why are there so many droids around? They mentioned the great work, not great works. I don't know if there's a connection to the High Republic. We have your now shirt. And of course the Old Republic credits. That why are the Old Republic credits there? So my big, and then like you mentioned, when they finally turned on SM33, and we'll talk about him in a while. He was also great. He's like, there's no mention of At Attin on my database. We searched the records for my last location. Wasn't At Attin, I don't know. And then the other pirates in the port is, At Attin, that's a myth. That's a lost planet of eternal treasure. So this is my big theory out there. What's the biggest treasure out there is knowledge. And who has knowledge? The Jedi. And Wim's been talking about a hidden Jedi temple. He mentioned sometimes Jedi temples hide themselves underground where there's danger. He's watching all these Jedi things. I think they're putting too much emphasis on Jedi and Jedi temple to not pay off on that at some point. So my tinfoil hat theory is that this planet was hidden away by the Jedi or someone. That's why it's no one knows about it. And the big hidden, and this around the time of Order 66, I'm saying, when the Republic was going down, this planet was hidden somehow with those weird clouds. And the big treasure is this hidden Jedi temple with some knowledge inside it. Be a holocron with names of kids are force sensitive or something else that related to the Jedi.
And John is gonna find it, and that's where he's gonna get his lightsaber.
Yeah, no, he's not a Jedi. He has the force, he's not a Jedi. But I think there's gonna be a lost Jedi temple in At Attin, and that's why it was kept off records and nobody knows about this. Is at this point the Jedi are gone. Let's keep them hidden. I think that's it. That's my big thing for hat theory, is that the Jedi or the Republic hid this planet away, and there's a Jedi temple containing some secret knowledge, not secret, but some forced knowledge, and that's the eternal treasure that the pirate think is actual treasure.
Okay.
Treasure.
Okay, we'll see.
That's it. That's
I like
great.
it.
Yeah, well, hopefully it works. All right, so the other character that was high on everyone's theories at first, and now it's pretty obvious, is Jot Nanawood. Silvo, Captain Silvo. We mentioned it last time. What is it kind of Pirates of the Caribbean that he was the captain or part of the pirates? There was a mutiny and now he's out on the outs. And that's exactly what happened. But I love that introduction.
Yep.
The first scene with the non-crawl.
Awesome.
It was pretty
like
sweet.
Those tunnels going into the ship.
Oh,
Like,
man,
it
it was
so like a Nile attack.
Yeah. Oh, it was great. Again, very New Hope, very Christopher Force. And yeah, I love New Hope. Let me do my take on it.
There was a moment I liked a lot. The alien that gets shot in the eye and just continues to move. It reminds me of that moment in Light of the Jedi when Porter Engle throws a lightsaber to an alien's head, and he's like, "Oh wait, his brain is somewhere else."
Oh, that's right. But yeah, I love that introduction. It showed again that this, even though it's quote unquote a kid show, there's danger in it. These pirates mean business. They're throwing people out of airlock, killing half the crew. I love Brutus, the big wolf man, where he comes in and just starts shooting everyone. And then, if this is whatever shit, why your cargo behind a magnetized seal or whatever? Yeah, just one measly credit. He gets thrown in the brig, and then of course uses the force at the end.
Quick question: do you think it really was that violent? Like more violent than New Hope?
No, I mean violent in terms of what I expected for a show starring a younger cast of characters to start this way. I was expecting it was going to start more with the planet, and then let's go to school.
Have you seen Stranger Things though?
It was Stranger Things, like TVMA. This isn't.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought I saw everyone being like, "Oh, it was so violent." Like I couldn't show that to my kids. I'm like, if you can show your kids New Hope, you can show them that. Like, there's no blood, like brains blowing out. It wasn't a Tarantino movie.
No one lost their arm. Maybe, I don't know. A couple of people died, but I love.
So we Luke.
Got the tunnels going out. I love that then they kind of shot back to destroy the tunnels, but they have a counter for this with those spacesuits just going and putting the bombs on them. But I love that whole.
What happened to the gold in the ship?
If it was gold, we don't know what they were carrying, or maybe someone else. And I like that we know when this takes place. I know it's supposed to be in the Mandalorian timeline, but there have been some rumors it was going to be between like season 1 and season 2.
Mm-hmm.
But on the Star Wars database or databank for the Pirate Vein, it says, oh, he used to work with Gorian Shard, but now he left, and now he's with this other pirate group. So this is
Oh, so
after
okay.
season 3 of The Mandalorian. So at least we know now where it stands. But talking a little bit more about Jod Nanawood, which again is not his name, we won't call him that anymore, Captain Silbo. Only got a little bit with him at the end of episode 2. He used the Force to get the key. I love the little nod to, oh, can you keep a secret? I love what he said. The distance between us and the key is an illusion. It's a very Jedi thing to say. It kind of still puts that doubt in the back of your head. Can he really be a Jedi? Is he gonna went from Jedi to piracy after Order 66, after being a Padawan in Order 66? I know, I like Jude Law so far, the little 2 minutes. And we got the Jedi theme. We got a variation of the Jedi theme. Finally.
I heard it. I was like, Alberto's going to be so happy. Finally.
Dude, I was extremely happy. I was trying to screen grab it, but Disney Plus wouldn't let me.
I like how much the show is an ode to the Amblin feel, but I also like how unapologetic a pirate show it is.
Oh yeah,
Alberto, that's what's the station where they get to?
Borgo, Port Borgo.
Can we talk about the ships? Like they're just like waiting there. They have strings like holding them together. Like if it was like an actual Tortuga or something like that. Yeah. I love the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. So this got me like in every direction it was shooting in. I was like, okay, no, I am definitely a target audience for this show. And and Silvo, like everyone's like, oh, is that Jude Law? That's definitely Jude Law. That's like seeing Kylo Ren in the first thing. I mean, like, I wonder if that's Adam Driver. Like, yes, it's Adam Driver. But I don't know. Like, he's Jack Sparrow apparently.
I mean, I love, again, same thing. I love how much they're jumping into the pirate feel of it, not being apologetic about it, not try to hide it as it's pirates in space. Now, these are pirates. It's obviously, these are pirates with eye patches and with the same flint-lock guns, and they do mutiny because you didn't give them enough loot or whatever. And Port Borgo, come on, I said it. I love it in the trailer, and here even more, because they went all in this. Like you said, this is a beach somewhere with the bartender there and the crappy cantina, people throwing up, they're doing tattoos. Like yeah, just throw some sand on the floor, we wouldn't notice.
And by the way, this is the volume. Look great.
So it's, again, we don't know anything. We don't know how shows are made, so still complain and give people time to learn how to use the technology.
But you know what, Alberto? I think that was it. Like, I don't know. I wasn't in the production, but I think maybe the delay of 1 year helped them maybe work on all of this. And thinking about the Mandalorian and Grogu, which we just learned rap, and it's coming out in like 2 years. Yeah. Then I'm like, okay, fine. If it's really just a thing of it takes time, then have all the time you need.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking about that, not in the terms of the volume, but it makes sense. That, like, Fantastic Four, they say just finished wrap shooting a couple of weeks ago. It comes out next summer. And I'm like, but Mando and Grogu finished a month ago, and it's still a year and a half. Why is it taking so long? If it takes this long to make the movie looks better and clear out any kind of issues with the volume, then yeah, we'll wait. We'll have visions and other stuff in between. Yep. But again, Port Borgo, just the whole vibe on it. And that weird the coke talk ferryman that takes him from their ship to give me money, or whatever he was saying, and then just fucking scurries off. I love that crazy little guy. Yeah. But the whole vibe of the port was great. And first, I love that they don't want to go through it. They just, hey, just take us home. We don't know where. I love SM-33. We'll talk about it in a minute. Just pointing to all these stars. Okay, tell me where At Attin is, and I'll take you. Captain. It's like, I don't know. Okay, take us to the port, and then at the end, why do you bring us to a pirate port? Because we are pirates. What? We're not pirates, we're kids. Oh, what? They get destroyed, but
SM-33
Smee. Let's talk about Smee. I love his introduction, not just when he pulls down the lever and turns everything on, just when he walks into, oh, Captain, why am I to always do with these stowaways? And I throw them out the airlock. And then again, I love Fern where she say, I can deal with a droid. Droid, I killed your captain. That's why I'm here. It's not. All right, what do you want me to do with these stowaways? Captain. And then it's that scene that you said, oh, I wanted to be the
I
captain.
want to
Like,
be the
shut up.
captain.
Oh.
That's like Frost, Santa Claus from Doctor Who.
Yeah. But yeah, great new droid. I love when he rescues them in Port Borgo, when he kind of grows. Let
He's
go
so
of my captain.
huge.
Just beats everyone up. And again, I'm not living here without KB. And then Wim's like, what about us? And the boys. Okay, we'll take
And
the
the
boys.
boys.
So yeah, the dynamic, those 4 kids are great. Yeah, I don't know. What else do we have? I guess that scene when they find the ship and go into it and just, oh, it's me. I love when, oh, show me how to fly the ship. And he goes to the whole, this is the F port, this is a thruster engines and the main engines and exciting and this, and then KB's like, yeah, easy, I got it.
I got it. I love that whole sequence in the ship, like them going in and Wim, seeing the green button and being like, don't touch anything, and being like, nope, boops. Again, he just wants adventure, and he's like, I want to know what's in here, what this is all about. And the whole launch sequence was very cool. The fact that the shit was upside down and it had to like get straight, and I don't know, it was super cool.
Yeah. That whole scene was great. I love how KB, even though we still don't have a lot to go with her, that there's the rational one. Well, if we follow this conduit, it will lead us to a power. Oh, we just need to wake it up. Bang!
Bang!
Bang it again. I love that. And going on to Win that wanted to touch that green button, then doing it when the whole ship is moving and Smee is kind of telling her everything. Oh, what's this button? No, don't touch that. Don't ever. That initiates the self-destruct sequence. I wasn't gonna touch it, and you were gonna touch it.
Yeah. And everything that happened in I keep forgetting the name of the place they go, but everything there, like Wim paying with the credits and everyone being like, where do you get that? Yeah. Like that's mint condition. And no one believing them when they say like they're from At Attin and being like, oh, that's like the place from, I don't know, like from Legend. And even them going into the prison they go into, like again, straight out of Pirates of the Caribbean, like, oh, let's train the mouse to bring us.
It's the dog, right? It's a dog he tries to get the key.
Yeah.
What do you think that it's also this brothel or strip club or whatever? Again,
they almost got in there, like, oh my god.
Was that feeling or that woman trying to help, or was she really going to kidnap them?
I kind of had the feeling that she was going to help them, but I don't know. Like, this is the Mos Eisley Cantina on steroids. So,
yeah. Oh, I loved it. And again, when they get captured and Brutus comes in, like, throw them in the brig or what, and she we'll talk to them later. And she's like, I'm right, you're here, just talk to me now. If you have questions, ask me right now. Like, I like this girl. She's gonna get killed pretty soon, but I like her attitude. And throw them in the brig. What's a brig? So again, these are kids. They don't know anything about the real world.
By the way, Alan is in the chat, and he says,
Alan, how you doing?
Skeleton Crew is wizard. It is indeed, Alan.
Yeah, that's something that Wim keep repeating, wizard, which is great.
How would he know what wizard is if they are shielded from the rest of the galaxy?
I mean, wizard is just a regular word. They have words. So I don't. Maybe Alan. What's the name of the first? Not name, but the job for Fern's mom. I know we forgot of. It's like undersecretary something. Someone posted online that same person, like the undersecretary. I'm gonna say Marda. I know it wasn't Marda, but there's someone already in a book with that name and works for the Empire at the end of the rebellion or something. So there, I don't know if it's the same person. I couldn't
From
find any.
Legends or
No,
from
from
canon?
canon.
Really?
Yeah. So there's no confirmation it's the same character, but we'll see. So some people are trying to place At Attin more as an Empire type planet, when I think it's more a Republic. But they do talk about the Republic. They don't talk about High Republic inside At Attin. They just talk about the Republic in general. Of course, the mention of the great work, and inside Fern's Fern's home, there's this big mural in the back that looks like Lina So almost there, and some Jedi around it. So
Yep.
there's maybe some connection or some background connection to the High Republic. I don't think we'll get anything in your face like, yeah, this happened during the High Republic times. But
I would be shocked, but it would make sense.
yeah. And where did they get all Republic credits from?
They always had them.
All right. So yeah, I think that's it. Great introduction to the show. Great characters so far, and there's a lot of different things in the story that gets us excited for the next one. It's not just can they get home, or it's like there's all these other questions about the planet, about Jude Law's character, what's really going on in At Attin. How can the kids get back home? How are you gonna escape the pirate ship or the pirate port? So there's a lot of questions out there that get me excited for the next couple of weeks. And again, we're not too far off. Tuesday is right there. So all right, Oti, anything else you want to talk about?
I was just in general, like I was just so like I don't think the show did anything that surprised me. It was, I think, everything I thought it would be, but the presentation was just so solid and so good that I was just so happy with it, and being finally witnessing what they promised, like in Stranger Things in space. I was like, it definitely is.
It delivered on that promise. I'll say deliver because I didn't promise anything about it, but the characters, they're all lovable and enjoyable. You want to keep following them. Sometimes some of these shows, there's one or two characters, you're like, whatever, I want to follow this storyline. So far, again, it's only 2 episodes, but so far, each character and each of the little storylines or family dynamics that they set up are very interesting. And let's see what happens in the planet, because I know from the trailers, like Fern's dad gets together with Wynn's mom to try to find them. And then at least I know there's a scene between them, like our kids are lost, we need to find them. So I think we're going to go back to that planet in between and see, maybe learn a little bit more. So, all right.
Wait, I think I was going to say something. Damn it, I forgot. I don't know. I can't wait for more. Oh, no, I remember now. My only concern with this show, though, it's something that if you watch Stranger Things, you've probably noticed.
Okay.
It's been Stranger Things technically takes place over 5 years, but the kids were 10 and now they're married.
Yeah.
Show ending. This show came out way later than it was supposed to, so these kids are what 2-3 years older than they were when they shot this. So I haven't seen them out there, so I don't know how they look, but I bet they don't look the same. I can buy it. Like if they say like, no, this takes place like immediately after the end of the first season, and they're like 4 years older, I'll be like, whatever.
Like, we keep watching Stranger Things. We know it's so noticeable now, but and again, it depends. We don't know if this is a one and done show. I know Star Wars hasn't had the best track record in renewing things. Alan knows he's always supposed about the Acolyte, especially with Manny Jacinto saying that the plan was 3 seasons and a movie. But we never heard if this was planned as a multi-season show or just a limited series. So we'll see how this story goes for this first season, if it really deserves another one. And it all is gonna go back to ratings. So if it's a success, I'm sure they'll find a way to do more.
I want to mention something. Alan, thank you for pointing this out, because I mentioned it in my show and I completely forgot. I like the reversal. Like the goal of the pirates, it's to go where the kids need to go because that's their home. And I think it was an interesting play on the formula of these kinds of stories, because then going back to their planet probably means the pirates are going to follow them. So how are they going to maneuver this? So I thought that was very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we know they make it back. We've seen there's scenes in trailers and in behind the scenes featurettes that they're back in the planets, they're back with their parents that we haven't seen yet. So I don't think those are last episode kind of scenes. So they'll probably make it back at some point halfway through the season and then have to deal with the pirates or whatever. And we know the X-Wing show up at some point. So,
right.
I was gonna say something and I forgot. Oh, just talking about the kids being different age. I saw a movie yesterday. It's not the greatest movie. It's not that bad. On Paramount. It's called something Santa with Jack Black as Dear Santa. You know who the kid is?
Satan.
Yeah. You know who the kid is? It's Neel. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, okay, I get my Neel fix. And it's the same thing because he has a crush on a girl at school. Same thing he does.
All right, Neel has a crush on a girl.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, I'm watching Neel without the elephant mask. So it's cool. Again, I love also all the school scenes because I have kids in middle school and they're going through exactly all this. So I relate to it as a parent watching what's happening there. And again, going back to Neel and how innocent he is when KB is like, oh, tell us who your crush is at school. And he blurts it out extremely quick. And like, oh no, she made me say it. Like, Neel, just take it easy. You don't need to be so upfront with everything.
I thought everything worked. And I was very surprised because working with kids is hard in movies and shows. I mean, so I was so happy to see there was no issues there.
Drop something. All right, so that's it for Star Wars Skeleton Crew episodes 1 and 2. What were the names of them? I have it written down. This could be a real adventure and way out the barrier. So can't wait for episode 3 next week. I know some people have seen it already. At least there's no spoilers out there. At least none that I have seen. Yeah. And then tomorrow, I forgot Dune Prophecy tomorrow.
I missed the third episode. I think it was. Yeah, so I need to watch it, but it's been good.
Yeah,
so far.
I've heard that tomorrow's one is great.
It's almost over. It ends
6.
It's 6 episodes, and that's it. So
same thing. I heard that the next Game of Thrones series, the Night of the Seven Kingdom, is also only 6 episodes.
I mean, that's fine. That's
okay. It's gonna do something. Here we go. It's gonna get the book. It's gonna be like 20 pages.
It's based on 3 novellas, and the 3 novellas are collected here. So I mean, they can play with it and do more.
Dude, The Hobbit was 3 movies, and it was even smaller. I know people didn't want it,
and it wasn't great.
All right, with that, we'll close our show for the day. Thanks to everyone that made it to the chat, and for Alti making it a couple minutes later.
I'll be here next week. Yes.
You'll be here next week. I'll be on this show, but not here in my office. My in-laws are coming on Friday, so I gotta find a spot on my house for the next couple of episodes.
Tune in next week because it's gonna be my last time for a while. So
yeah, we gotta be here.
You should get some guests.
I guess I'll get some guests.
I think I'll be back for the finale though. So
okay, we'll figure it out. You let me know when you're available. All right, well, everyone, Dale, not Dale. Maybe Dale come.
Oh, Dale got here.
Oh, there you go. See, I knew it. Dale, how you doing? I made it at the end. Just hit that replay button, Dale, and hit that thumbs up, as you always do. We'll be back next week with a coverage on Skeleton Crew and anything else that happens in the world of Star Wars. So stay safe. Be safe, and remember, you can't claim unclaimsies without the claimer. See you next week.